Delta. For multi-vehicle NBC, multiple patients on scene, 1 vehicle rolled.
10-4.
We have multiple people. Probably be like the second or third car in. We should have triage complete by the time we get there.
We arrive on scene and see 3 significantly damaged vehicles. That tells me there's a high force of impact.
Right here. You can't miss this. We're the second ambulance on scene. Our job is to communicate with that first ambulance, find out who is most sick, and transport that patient first.
We're gonna dump beds and you're gonna take my tickets, okay?
Okay. Is he on your bed already?
Yeah, we're just packaging him right now. If he was the driver, we had 5 people in this car. Yeah, they're doing the front, 3 in the back.
PTOH?
Driver's the worst. They're doing in excess of 100 when they hit the car.
100?
Yeah, you're gonna have to take a look at the car because it looks pretty bad.
The dangers of this are astronomical. 5 people in this car, traveling in excess of double the speed limit.
This is the driver. Very, very large damage to the driver's side.
12 to 18 inches intrusion on his A-post.
You're going like 100, 110, ETOH, we don't know?
Admitted ETOH.
ETOH is simply the medical term for intoxication.
It's hard to imagine that this young, inexperienced driver is traveling over 100 kilometers an hour down a residential street.
This was a parked vehicle.
Yeah.
He's probably going over 100. He lost control and then started to fishtail, and then I just saw the one side come up, and then he made contact with the 2 vehicles that were there.
Do you remember the whole accident?
I do.
There's no periods where you're kind of foggy?
All I remember is hitting it and flying around the box.
Did he climb out of here?
Yeah. He was sitting here, leaning against the car.
Other patients are being assessed, and there are some very young teenagers involved. So the girl in the blanket didn't want...
No, Dad's gonna take her.
Yeah.
Coming home from work, driving this way, and this car went zooming by us.
Turns out this witness got a bit of a surprise. But your daughter was...
In the car.
Okay. It's not a good night.
No, it's not the night I was planning on having.
No.
Every paramedic has shown up to a call that has much less extensive damage, but much greater injuries. So the fact that these patients walked away is almost a miracle.
Base to 67. You're responding to an unknown aged female. She's extremely short of breath. We can no longer hear her on the phone. Unsure if she's still conscious.
1967 copies that. School zone. 30K.
Not in July.
No, not in the dark either.
First thoughts going through my mind, is the patient an asthmatic? Do they have respiratory problems?
This one here.
Has something happened that's caused the shortness of breath, or has this been a gradual onset?
Suddenly she's not on the phone with dispatch any longer. I'm thinking, did she go unconscious? Did she just drop the phone? What's going on?
Paramedics.
You can see the patient's in distress.
Okay, let's get you sitting down here.
She's only talking 2 or 3 words at a time, and you can hear her wheezing from the doorway.
Hey, how are we doing?
Hey, well, listen, you sound wheezy. Okay, well, so we're 96 sats. Heart rate's 124.
Are you having pain in your chest?
Let's get you breathing.
We gotta get you breathe. Just concentrate on taking breaths, okay? You don't have to talk to us.
Breathe that in. You'll be okay. We'll get you breathing in.
This patient is in pretty significant distress. The apartment's very hot and stuffy. There's hardly any air movement, and it just feels very stagnant.
What's your first name?
Open that window.
We need to get some cold air in there. It's going to make her ability to breathe a lot easier. It's going to open her up because it is going to cool down the room.
When did you quit smoking?
96.
10 years ago.
Okay,
Take deep breaths.
She's been a long-time smoker, and as a result of the smoking, she's developed emphysema.
That medication's gonna get into the base of your lungs, okay, and open them up. Just breathe, so you can hear.
Don't answer me yet.
Sats are good, heart rate's coming down.
Are you by yourself here? Yeah? Yeah, it's just a little guy.
We're gonna take you up to the hospital, okay?
Need to get a chest x-ray and some more steroids.
Unfortunately, emphysema is a chronic condition, and the symptoms can only be managed. 2,
Watch behind
3,
your butt.
4.
Problem with these emphysemic patients is some nights are good, some nights are bad, and nothing seems to help. Even when they take their meds, they just get that exacerbation and just builds up and gets worse, and that's when we get called.
Her oxygen stats are improving, her work of breathing is improving, her heart rate is improving, and her anxiety level is improving.
You feel better? Yeah, good. Breathe that in. Here, let's get you fixed up.
That tells us our treatment plan is working.
There is no rhyme or reason why something happens to someone or why it doesn't happen to someone.
Is luck a factor in whether or not you get sick or injured in any given day? I think it might be all just random.
There are so many instances where if just one tiny variable was changed, the outcome would have been completely different.
I think it's just the way that the cards are dealt to people.
Some people die, some people live.
You can call it luck or whatever you want, but there is no predicting it.
Maybe the rain will keep everyone inside tonight.
Yeah, big thunderstorm coming.
Base to 36. Reporting that unknown age male, he's unconscious, breathing is confirmed. And this is a Delta response. You'll find your patient outside this address.
He's gonna be wet if he's been outside for any length of time. It's
cold.
It's a cool night, a definite potential to lose body heat.
I arrive on scene and see the fire department as well as multiple police members.
We walk up to this patient. He's lying flat on his back. It's dark, it's a tight space. It's less than ideal for treating this patient.
Started breathing like this now.
Okay.
Hey, slow your breathing down, okay?
Right now, we're not really sure what's going on with him. His eyes are closed, he's not answering any questions, he's hyperventilating.
Police plane followed him here. Plane did they say, right? You could see him get out of the driver's seat, walk up here, and come back.
This police plane was able to follow this erratic driver. They watched him park, they watched him walk up to his house, and then fall backwards off his top step.
He's got a pretty big goose egg to the back side of his head.
It is possible this gentleman is just intoxicated. However, we don't want to overlook a more serious injury.
We're gonna put a collar around your neck.
This patient's behavior is becoming erratic, it's very unpredictable, and it creates for a possibly unsafe situation.
Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Sometimes people with a head injury can become confused and combative and not really know what they're doing.
Look at him fight, he's clenched. His heart rate's 60, he's got a pressure of 150 on 100. He could be showing signs of ICP. There definitely is potential that this patient has a head injury, and that is what is causing this erratic behavior.
Start a line if I just go.
Yeah, I'd like to just go.
Patient's a very tough assessment, so we're just gonna be overcautious and take him to RUH for a trauma alert.
Anybody laying on the sidewalk?
We really don't have a whole lot of information going into this call. We could be going for someone who's simply intoxicated, or we could be going to a cardiac arrest.
Yeah, I'll put the lights on.
So I'm thinking, what are the reasons this person is unconscious, unresponsive?
Oh yeah, there she is.
Could it be trauma? Could it be a gunshot wound? Could it be drugs, alcohol?
1967 patient.
Hey. Good morning. Hey, what's your name? Breathing, she's got a nice, strong, regular pulse.
First thing we want to do is check our patient's breathing rate and heart rate. This will give us a quick snapshot into her condition.
Doesn't look like there's any sign of injury at all.
What are you doing? Let's get you up. Come on.
Here, let's get you up. Let's go sit in the back of her truck where we got some good lights and this way, this way.
Our patient's confused, she's agitated, she doesn't want anything to do with us. But because of her state of mind, we have to take her to the hospital.
Right this way, right this way. Can you step up? Step up into the truck, yeah. There we go. Up we go.
It's not uncommon for a woman in her predicament to resist being woken up so abruptly.
Oh, she's trying to bite. Trying to bite. No.
We really just wanted to help her, and we can't leave her laying on the sidewalk.
She didn't look like she had any track marks or anything.
Yeah, I don't see track marks at all.
And we got some gum, a rubber.
I'm gonna look at your pupils.
A pencil sharpener.
No, don't look up.
She's got no arm tats.
Hi.
She was pretty feisty when we were trying to get her up into here. No paramedic wants to restrain a patient, but sometimes our job is to protect people who can't protect themselves.
What's your name? Hey, we're just trying to help you settle down.
As that foot's coming at my head, I'm feeling, hey, this is really going wrong. And I do not want to be kicked in the head tonight.
We're just trying to help.
We then tie her down, because if I don't, she's gonna try to kick me one more time.
No track marks anywhere, no sign of any injury.
She's probably intox, which would lead to one combative feature, and based on the area of town she's in, I don't blame her for trying to fight off anybody grabbing her and trying to shove her into a vehicle. Good for her for fighting.
Golden. No one wants to restrain patients, but in this case, we have to act in the best interest of the patient. She's not making the appropriate decisions, and we can't have her getting hurt or hurting us.
What's your name? What's your name?
For this young lady, unknown what she took. Very combative, unable to get any information whatsoever from her. No name, no allergies, medical history. Use a soft restraint as well as give her some midazolam to put her to sleep for now, just so we can manage her better.
I don't think she obviously intentionally meant to kick us or bite us. So in order to stop that, we just give her a very potent drug that slows her down, as you can see, and now no one's fighting, and we don't have to worry about her getting hurt.
We'll get her up to the hospital, see if we can't figure out what's going on with her.
I've been a paramedic for 9 years. It brings a lot of satisfaction knowing that people you've never met before put this much trust in you to help them or their loved one or their family member during their worst time or their worst day.
Lloyd, I'm gonna take a listen to your lungs here. Nice deep breath for me.
Makes what you do worthwhile.
You're responding echo for a 28-year-old female. Possible overdose on fentanyl. She is not conscious, not breathing.
So, left here.
Fentanyl is a very strong drug. It's 80 to 500 times stronger than morphine. It can cause people to lose consciousness and stop breathing.
Fentanyl is such a potent drug, a single dose can be fatal.
You're arrested?
Yeah, we're 99.
We're 99.
We don't know anything about her. Friends found her 10 minutes like this.
You know, any call for cardiac arrest, every minute, every second on this call makes a difference in the outcome of this patient.
We don't know what to use. Can anyone go talk to the people?
We are literally working against the clock. From the time we make patient contact, we have about 20 minutes to resuscitate them before death becomes imminent.
What's your name? What's your name?
We need to get some background information from the friend or anybody who knows this patient.
They're doing everything they can for her, okay? We're
We'll stay on a pulse when they got here. Because we give her CPR for 15 minutes and give her that emergency.
I'm gonna grab more.
This patient's veins are heavily scarred from using intravenous drugs, so that's why we choose to start an IO, which is when we drill a needle right into the bone cavity to administer medications.
I'm pushing epi right now.
Okay, first epi's in, I'll event this.
Epinephrine is essentially adrenaline to help restart this patient's heart.
We have Narcan coming as well. We're giving this patient Narcan to reverse the effects of the opiates.
How much Narcan do you want?
Let's, well, 0.1, 0.5, I guess.
So apparently she got Narcan. They did CPR for 15 minutes before you got here and said that she had a pulse before you guys got here.
Hey, we've had one epi so far, right? Do you want to just check a pulse? Check a pulse, guys. Every 2 minutes we check for a pulse. If there's no pulse, CPR continues.
She's asystole. Let's get back on the chest. I'll dump this charge.
So the longer a patient is in cardiac arrest, the less chance of survival they have.
Okay, second epi's going in.
Justine, can I get your help here? Oh, I need suction.
Suction. Good. Good. What are we at for epis?
We have 2. I'm pushing bicarb. Let's get another milligram of Narcan.
Narcan, I got it in my pocket. If you want to pass me a syringe, I'll draw it up. Okay, got it. 180, charge it.
We're still asystole. Let's get back on the chest, switch it up. We'll dump that charge.
Let's find out for a time for 99.
We're approaching that 20-minute mark, so this is now a last-ditch effort of what we can do to resuscitate this patient.
So we got about 5 more minutes, and it's 20 minutes, guys.
End title's 25. We got 2 epis, a milligram of Narcan, and a bicarb, and a second milligram of Narcan here, both. Okay, so this second milligram of Narcan's going in. I'm just gonna wait another minute before I give this epi. Okay, the third epi is gonna go in here.
Okay. So we got 3 epis in. We got a bicarb, man. We've given 2 milligrams of Narcan. Got fluid running. Still asystole.
What do we add for compressions, boys? 155. We'll charge this in just a second here.
Pupils are fixed and dilated.
How old is she?
28.
Oh, really? Chest. Asystole.
Okay. Are we calling it right now?
Yeah.
We're gonna call it. Okay.
2354.
That's fine. 2354. We'll call it. Everyone's cool with that.
We did everything we could. Unfortunately, at this point, there's nothing else that can be done. It's a very tragic situation. You know, you feel for the patient, you feel for the patient's family and friends.
Just cover her up.
And unfortunately, it's a growing crisis where all it takes is one bad dose to end up in a fatality.
You're doing in excess of 100 hit this parked car.
100?
Regarding the intoxicated male at the start of the night who crashed into the parked cars.
You're going like 100? 110?
He was transported to hospital, treated for minor injuries, and later released into police custody.
So the girl in the blanket didn't want...
No, Dad's gonna take her.
The 4 remaining passengers in the car were also transported, treated for minor injuries, and later released.
Paramedics!
Our emphysema patient earlier this evening was transported to hospital. She spent 3 weeks there recovering and is now home with her dog.
What are you doing? Let's get you up.
The female that we went to earlier in the evening that was unconscious on the sidewalk, we transported her to the emergency department. She was watched for the rest of the evening and released in the morning.
Is her arrested?
Yeah, we're 99.
We're 99.
We don't know anything about her.
The overdose patient from earlier in the night did not respond to any resuscitative efforts.
We don't know what she used. Can anyone go talk to the people? Thank you.
And unfortunately was pronounced dead at the scene.
Just cover her up.
It's truly a tragedy. You know, we're seeing this growing crisis within the city, and there are more deaths because of it.